and welcome. As you can see on your screen, today I'm back with a different set of set BBA examination questions, and these are again based on the previous year pattern, the different questions that have been being asked in the SET exam. So we are going to discuss those questions here. They are on the line of your paper only, like what exactly and how the paper will come before your eyes. Okay, so it is a good mix of passage based questions, fill in the blanks, grammar questions, vocab, all of that you can see. Let's proceed and solve them. Okay, first question, in each of the questions given below, sentence has been, see again 5 sections of a sentence are given to you and you are supposed to rearrange them properly. Okay, so first I have to see A and B look like a good intro. So I would rather go with policymakers for emerging economies. Yes, so policymakers across emerging economies are grappling with the unintended consequences of rapid technological disruption. So B, A, C, D, E is my answer. Out of the 4 options, option D is my answer. Coming to the next one, despite mounting evidence. Okay, this is a confusing one. In the first glance, ABC looks like the right combination, but if I read further sections, I realize that the sentence is entirely different. Despite mounting evidence that renewable alternatives were viable and economically sustainable, corporations continue to invest heavily in fossil fuel infrastructure. So the correct answer would be A, then D, E, A, D, E, and finally BC. A, D, E, BC, and option number C is our answer. Moving on to the next one. In the following question, out of the 4 alternatives, select the word similar in meaning. Similar in meaning, the word is given obfuscate. Obfuscate basically means that you create an obstruction by hiding something. Okay, hiding is the important aspect of obfuscate here. See, there is obstruction or obstruct. Obstruct basically means to stop something from happening or to cause hindrance, right? But obfuscate essentially talks about that you are hiding that thing. So the correct answer would be conceal. Conceal or concealment would be the right answer. Now in 4th one, you have to select the word opposite in meaning, that is the antonym. Ephemeral. It is very easy. Ephemeral is something that is temporary for a short period of time. So out of these 4, fleeting is a synonym and eternal should be the right answer. Eternal and ephemeral are a famous pair of antonym and antonyms. Yes. Moving forward, now we have a passage in front of you, question number 5 to 7. That means 3 questions are based on this passage alone. Technological innovation has often been celebrated as the engine of economic growth, yet its disruptive potential cannot be overlooked. So one idea, technological innovation as the engine of economic growth and has disruptive potential. Automation, for instance, has significantly enhanced productivity but has simultaneously displaced large section of the workforce. While new jobs are created, they frequently demand skills that the displaced workers do not possess, leading to structural unemployment. Governments are thus confronted with the dual challenge of fostering innovation while ensuring stability, social stability. Failure to address this imbalance could exacerbate income inequality and social unrest. This word exacerbate basically means that you are making a current situation even worse, ultimately undermining the very progress that innovation seeks to achieve. So innovation in a way is ironical because why? Because of the, we think that we are progressing, but it is also creating a lot of social insecurity. It can be inferred from the passage that, what exactly can be inferred? Automation only benefits economic growth? No. Technological progress always leads to job creation? Always. Now, always is a risky territory, so I'll just leave this option here. Innovation may create inequality if unmanaged. Governments should restrict technological. No. Again, this is extreme, this is extreme. Option number C seems like the best inference from the given passage. Okay. The primary purpose of the passage is to. Primary purpose is your main idea. Primary purpose of the passage is to criticize technological innovation, highlight the dual impact of innovation, advocate for automation, describe unemployment trends. See, criticize again is a sort of extreme word, so we usually do not go for extreme words. Highlight the dual impact. Yes, if you look at the last line, it is showing that even though we are getting some progress out of technological advancement, there is a duality to it, that some people are losing their jobs and it is causing inequality. Right, so that is the dual impact of innovation. Let's go ahead. Okay, a suitable title for the passage. The benefits of automation, obviously not. Innovation and economic growth, no, I don't think so. Structural unemployment in modern. See, the paradox of technological progress, the exact same thing that the passage talks about, that even though we think that we are progressing, but we are actually losing on a lot of fronts. Fine. Question number 8. You have to choose one word substitution for the given word or sentences. One who studies the evolution of languages. See, if you have slight idea of languages or of root words, you will know that anthropo is related to like human beings, mankind. So, anthropologist studies about the mankind. Here the best answer would be philologist, who is actually studying about different languages, right? One of the 4 alternatives, choose a word which can be again one word substitution. A government by officials. See, democracy, autocracy, meritocracy. Meritocracy means something based on merit, like who is the most talented. Autocracy based on one person. One person is running the government. Democracy is the government run by the people. We are left with bureaucracy. That is our answer in this question. Okay. 4 alternatives are given for the idiom phrase underlined. You have to choose the best one that expresses the meaning. Burning the midnight oil. See, burn the midnight oil, it is very literal as well, that maybe in the old times when people use lamps, right? So, lamps require, like cotton wick lamps, they require a lot of oil to burn, right? They did not use electricity or batteries that we use, they used to use the oil. So, if you are working until late or studying until very late, you are using your lamp. So, that oil is burning at midnight. So, burning at midnight might actually mean was what? Work late into the night. That is how you guess the meaning of idioms, or even if you were able to guess the meaning of this idiom, this is how you will remember it further for your exams. Okay. 4 words are given in each option, out of which only one word is correctly spelt. Okay, consensus. Consensus, what exactly does consensus means? There is a word conscience. A lot of people read it as conscience. It is up to you want to read it as conscience or conscience, it is up to you. But consensus, conscience is basically that inner ability you have to differentiate between good or bad, the inner voice that comes up around any time of the day and tells you that okay, you should do that, no, that is wrong, that is correct, we should be like this. That is your inner voice, that is your conscience. Okay, Hindi mein jise hum bolte hain atma. Okay, so that is conscience. And do not get confused between conscience and conscious. Usually students get confused a lot. Conscience is an abstract noun. It's an abstract noun, while conscious is an adjective which means very aware. Okay, conscious, you are conscious of your surroundings. That means you are very aware. That is the meaning of conscious. So do not get confused between conscience and conscious. Now, if I have to make an adjective out of this abstract noun, the adjective that I will come up with would be consensus. Consensus. And if I have to select the right meaning, consensus, option B would be my answer. Okay. Now let's move ahead. A sentence is given with blank to be filled with appropriate word. Fine. Which fits the statement contextually and grammatically. Okay. His argument was so dash that it failed to convince even his ardent supporters. First of all, let's talk about this word ardent. Ardent basically means something very strong, and something very strong with belief. So ardent supporters are the ones who support you no matter what, and they are very strong supporters of yours, right? There is a phrase called ardent desire for something. That means you have very strong belief, very strong desire for that particular thing. So ardent means that. And now it's saying that argument was dash and it failed to convince. So we know that the argument was weak or useless or inappropriate or just something that doesn't fit the situation, because even the supporters are not getting convinced. So cogent means something agreeable, and I just gave you the context that no, we do not need something agreeable, we need something weak or something disagreeable. So I will not select cogent here. Pragmatic means practical, okay? Pragmatic means practical, and coherent is logical. All of these adjectives are something on which ardent supporters must get convinced, but they are not. So we are left with tenuous, and tenuous means something weak, something undesirable or something weak. So answer for 12th question would be tenuous. Okay, let's go ahead now. Okay, we are given some section of the sentence in a bracket, and we have to choose the correct grammatical form to fill here. She is one of those students. She is one of those students who okay. She is one of those students who, see here it is using one of. That means even though this group, those students, this group is plural, even though this group is plural, but one of usually is taken as singular in the grammar. So here instead of using, like here I will not use have. A lot of you are going to make this mistake and you are going to use have here, but no, I will use has. She is one of those students who has consistently performed well in examinations. Okay, see, no, I am wrong. Those students who, those students. Now it is, the who here is talking about those students, not particularly that girl. Okay, now those students is a whole category and there are multiple people, and that's why grammar tells you that she is one of is singular, but we are talking about those students who. Here we are talking about those students who here is acting as a relative pronoun, and that's why I will take plural verb for that. So she is one of those students who have consistently performed well in examination. So A should be my answer. Okay, going ahead, they will complete the project by next month. It's an active voice and I have to convert this into passive voice. Now in passive voice, the object becomes your subject and subject becomes object. So the correct answer would be the project they will complete, since it's happening in the simple future. They will complete the project by next month. So tense will remain the same. The project will be completed by next month should be the answer. Okay, up to 14 we've solved. Now moving on to the next questions. Now you have to find the error. You have to find the error in the section of the sentence. Each of the participants were asked to submit their reports before the deadline. See here, each is a pronoun, okay, infinitive pronoun, and each is considered single in grammar. So the verb that follows should also be singular. So instead of were here, we should be having was. So the error lies in section 2, and that's why option B is my answer. Okay, fine. Last one. You have to choose the correct meaning of this spill the beans idioms. Spill the beans. I often use this idiom as example for idiom itself, because idioms are something whose, like, idioms are the phrases or collection of words whose literal meaning is different from the actual meaning, right? So this is one example. Literal meaning is that you are spilling something, you are spilling the beans all over. That is the literal meaning, that is the meaning according to the language. But the actual meaning is that you are spilling a secret. You are revealing the secret, you are sharing something. That is the actual meaning of this idiom, spill the beans, and that is why the correct answer would be option B. Okay. See, like I did a sort of analysis in the last session as well, and in this session as well, I would like to conclude with that a lot of questions that are bound to make you struggle are from actually vocabulary. Okay, so you have to work around that. You have to keep revising your vocabulary basics and like understand if you encounter something new, you cannot really go into that question unarmed. Excuse me. If you have the knowledge of the idiom, then only attempt these kind of questions. Or if there comes a fill in the blanks, like like we saw here. In this question, you were given 4 words. If and only if you know the meaning of at least 2 words, at least means 2, 3 or 4, right? Then only attempt such kind of questions. Do not go into these questions blindly when you have absolutely no idea what these words mean, or if you know just one word and you think you can solve the questions. Do not go blindly in the vocabulary based questions. Okay, so yeah, that was all. That was the SCT set of 16 questions. I hope this session helped, and you can comment for more information on the exam or for more tips for general English section. Thank you so much.